teams. You got the Commanders 7-5-1, sitting at 6 seed right now. You got the Giants 7-5-1, also at the 7th seed. 4 teams in NFC East. Everybody said we were trash, right? But so that's one time I'm gonna be holding arms with the Cowboys. We're probably the best division in the NFL. And also the Seahawks 7-6, but they beat the Giants, and the Lions 6-7 beat the Giants and Commanders. So 2 teams are going to stay in, and 2 teams are going to come out. Carl, tell me the two teams that are in and 2 that's out.
That's a good question. So, can I give you 2 answers? Oh, first of all, before I start this answer, can I say that while y'all saying Cade Cunningham being out sucks, I'm happy because we're 7-22. This season's over, bro. What are we going to do? Just rest up, get your money, and come back next year. Let the young guys get their experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This season's over. All right. So, to answer your question, all right, the biased person in me wants the Lions and the Seahawks in. Shout out my mom. She's a Lions fan. That's why I root for the Lions.
Why the Seahawks though?
Huh?
Why the Seahawks?
I was born in Seattle, Tacoma, Washington, an hour away from Seattle, so they got a little soft spot in my heart.
All right.
So them 2. Now, who do I think will really get in? The Lions, I think will get in because they had a tiebreaker over the Commanders and the Giants. And
come on,
the water's
fine, Carl. The water's fine.
The water's fine.
The Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm gonna explain why. Because the Commanders, y'all division is tough. So y'all could lose some of them divisional games you have. Being the Giants is losable because I honestly have y'all beating the Giants, but it's losable. The Cowboys, losable. The 49ers, very losable.
Very losable.
The Seahawks still have the 49ers, which is losable. But the Lions have actually been playing well against their division, and they have divisional games left. They have the Bears again. They have the Packers again. Now, history shows that the Packs normally beat the Lions, no questions asked. But this year is different. The Lions finally got one on them already. The Lions played the Vikings very close last time, and I told y'all they should have won that game the last time they played, and that's why I was so gung-ho on them beating the Vikings this week. Sure enough, the Lions came out, proved me right. They're hot. They've actually won, 5 of the last 6 or something like that. Played Buffalo real close and actually could have won that game. So I think the Lions are playing real good football. They get their rookie first-round receiver. He made his debut this Sunday, had a touchdown. Jamison Williams out of Alabama. So they get another weapon for Jared Goff, which I don't never say that, but there we go. Now, Giants. Giants do kind of look more and more like pretenders as the season go on, but in their defense is real banged up. So it's kind of hard to call them pretenders when your backbone of your team is really banged up. So I don't really have them making it. And that Seahawks offense is still really good. I just think Carolina defense is really good too, and that's why they struggled yesterday with Carolina. JC, my boy, they had 2 picks last night.
Could have had 3.
Definitely could have, but the ball traveled too far out the back. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. So could have had a triple hat. Could have had a Trubisky, you feel me? But that's neither here nor there. So I think the Seahawks will be able to bounce back. The Commanders, like I said, they have 3 very losable games, but they've also been playing very good football. I can't hate. So if I'm going to point out the negative, I got to point out the positive. They've been playing well. Taylor Heinicke has been leading that team very well. Taylor Heinicke actually has been cutting down at least the past 2 games, I believe, on those fourth quarter picks. So that's very crucial. He needs to stay away from doing that. As I've pointed out in like 5-6 games in his very young career, he has done those things. We can stay away from that, keep targeting his best receiver, and Ron Rivera don't get in the way and start Carson Wentz. They do have a shot, but I'm going to still go with the Lions and the Seahawks.
Tomo?
I'm going Commanders and the Lions. Like you said, you naming off the games that's losable. Technically, the Seahawks got the 49ers right now coming off a tough week already with Carolina, and we see what the 49ers defense is doing. So, Gino, it's a bad week, man. It's a bad week back-to-back. Then they got the Chiefs after that. Then they got the Jets and the Rams. So they could potentially go 2-2. The Lions, like we've all said, they've been in every game basically all year. Now they finally turn the tide where they're actually winning those close games. And they got the Jets up next. They can beat them. The Jets have a great defense, though. I told you all about that Bills game. Watch out for that. But the Bills was going to win like they did. Then they have the Panthers, another tough defense. But again, Jared Goff has weapons. I know you don't want to say he has the weapons, but they have the weapons now. Then they play the Bears and the Packers to close it out. So again, that's either 2-2 or 3-1, however you want to see it. The Giants, man, at this point, they're dealing with injuries. They don't have a number one receiver. Like you said, their backbone is done. Well, he's not done, but he's hurt. And when your backbone is banged up and your defense is playing the way it is, but you can't really score, you're not going to win so many games. They could beat the Commanders just because they just played them. And Vanilla Vic, as they would say, all right, get this man out of here. I gotta get this man out of here. Y'all will see it when y'all see it, but I'm not distracted, but that right there. But like you said, they could beat the Commanders. I mean, because they played them already, they tied with them, they can show up. They're not beating Minnesota, they're not beating the Colts, and they're not beating the Eagles again. So that leaves the two teams that could potentially go out 3-1, the Commanders and the Lions. So those are the two.
All right, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Like we weren't even talking about the Lions. We were talking about the Seahawks, Giants, and Commanders. Now Lions came into the picture. The Lions got the easiest schedule. I think they will lose to the Jets though, and I think they will win their last three. And but us, we got, the Giants. I think we're gonna beat the Giants. I know it's a losable game, but the Seahawks got worse losable games. I believe Seahawks got to play the Chiefs, who the guy you never bet on. They got to play the 49ers. Come on now. 49ers dogged them the first time. Like, nobody in that division is challenging the 49ers. And who else they got to play? They got to play the Jets, who I think they could definitely lose to. That's a great defense. All right, we can't see one of the Jets. And they got an easy one against the Rams. But it's not easy. The Rams must beat them. All right? And Kenneth Walker is hurt. So he's playing with an injury. So that's also a big thing. They can't stop the run. All right? And so the Seahawks, they might fall out. Us, with the Giants, they're done. They're done. All right, they got to play us again. They still got to play the Eagles. Now the Eagles might be resting their players. They still might lose the Eagles, right? Who else they play? They got to play. You said Colts and the Vikings. Now they could beat the Vikings because the Vikings nilly willy. They kind of like on the fence. You never could predict them. But I think they would lose to the Vikings, and like you said, they could lose to the Colts, but they might beat the Colts. Now us, we have a potential to win out. The potential.
Oh,
I'm not saying we are. But the reason why I'm more confident in us than any other team that's in this race because our defense. We got the best defense out of all of us. We will be in every single game. We look at the Lions. Come on now. We look at them. The Seahawks.
You ain't have to say it like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You ain't have to say it like that.
Y'all defense is better, but you ain't have to say it like that.
Hey.
I get you. Y'all rookie balling. I feel you. He's balling. But that's about it. I mean, y'all defense be getting torched every week. Right? Detroit they get torched every week, but they got a good offense, though. That's their thing. I think the last 4 games, they scored over 25 points, something like that. So they're looking good. The Giants, injury bug. I like Lawrence, but injury bug, right? Saquon still hurt. So I'm more confident in us making it and the Lions second only because of their schedule. And they got some momentum also, just like us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much going with the same thing. I mean, I can't.
You sound sad, man. What's wrong with that?
He did though.
I can't make.
You don't want to see us in playoffs?
I want to see y'all in 2 weeks. That's where I'm in 2 weeks.
Ooh, that's a good comeback.
That's what I want to see. See y'all in 2 weeks. Now, the reason why I said it like that is because even though I do not like the Seahawks, I've been rooting for Geno Smith all the year, man. He's been playing so good. So I kind of want to see him make the playoffs just to see what he can do. However, I just don't see it happening. I see the Lions and the Commanders making it. I don't really see. I don't believe in the Giants. I already said that they're pretenders. I don't think they're going to do anything. Like I said, they got injuries, but the only offensive weapon they have is Saquon, and he's not necessarily 100% healthy right now. The Lions, I mean, they just been playing good. So they just been playing very well lately. Yeah, they do have the Jets next Sunday. Then they got the Panthers, the Bears, and the Packers. They can beat all 4 teams, honestly, they can go 4-0, but I got them losing at least one of those games. I'm not sure which one it is. It could be the last game of the season. It could be the Jets. Who knows? Because you never really know between the Packers and the Lions. It's always a game that's going to go all the way towards the end. Um, although Justin Fields can upset them, and that if they think about looking ahead to the Packers, looking at the playoff picture, Justin Fields is explosive enough to win a game with his feet. So he has been kind of sort of doing that lately, even though they only got 3 wins in the season. But he's been playing well enough. He's been playing well enough to at least have them in the game. So I can see that happening. Panthers defense is good, and I guess Sam Darnold has played okay yesterday.
He played good. He made a couple bad decisions, but he played good.
Yeah. But the Giants, I don't believe in, and the Seahawks has got. I think the Seahawks got the worst schedule out of everybody. I think.
Yeah, they do.
Because they play us Thursday, then oh my goodness, then they play the Chiefs.
Just that right there is a bad schedule.
Then the Jets,
Yeah.
then the Rams. I mean, and the Rams just won with Baker Mayfield, who only was with the team for like 12 hours. So who knows what's going to happen that last game of the season. And the Rams know they're not in the playoffs. They're gonna be fighting to get it to not have the Seahawks make the playoffs. That's how division games are at the end, and that's why they remember before. I think before maybe 4 or 5 years ago, there was no division games at the end of the season.
Exactly.
They did that to make it more competitive at the end of the season because a lot of players, a lot of teams were resting their players like the Colts. They always rested Peyton Manning at the last week because it wasn't a division game. It didn't matter, but now it matters. So that last game of the season is going to mean something. So
I got a conspiracy theory for you all too. Why they did that? Remember them 3 years where the Cowboys kept going 8-8, and they were like, "You got to win to get in," and they lost to every team in the division. The NFL was like, "We just gonna do this. Get them, just get them."
Hey, I was gonna be like, because you said since last 5 years, I'm about to say, well, the Cowboys did it 3 times in a row.
The Ravens did it against the Bengals.
Oh,
4th and 19, yeah, 4th and 19. Tyler Boyd, 49-yard touchdown.
Look, 4th and 19, like he did the exact play and everything. All right, shot me, James.
Ran the cover too. Tyler Boyd, 49-yard touchdown.
My man know exactly what happened. It still hurt them to this day.
Bro, to this day.
Man.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.